Coach G, thank you very much, man. Comes from me and I guess the rest of the coaching community here. We can't thank you enough. 5 weeks in a row, like kudos to you, man, keeping this relevant and continuing to pile on to this stuff. Thank you, everybody, joining in right now. I know there's a lot of things that you could do on a Saturday. Thank you for spending it with myself and Coach G. I'm going to take some time here and talk to you guys about our boot and play action pass. Like Coach referenced, I already did our in-pocket play action protection stuff and routes. If any of you guys are interested in that portion of the presentation, just reach out. Here's all of my contact info, Twitter handle, cell phone, email, whatever works best for you guys. I've been very blessed and fortunate to do what I love at a place that I love. I'm a proud Utica alumni. I've been the OC there for the last 3 years, and it's just been a great opportunity for myself. I've met some great people. Going to jump right into our boot game. So let me get situated here. This is pulled right from a report on Huddle. So you guys can see that, 17 completions, 7 incompletions, 2 were complete for touchdowns. We had 2 scrambles. We probably could have called this a lot more. It's been a very successful play for us. On the completions, you can see the averages. On the touchdowns, you can see obviously it's probably a higher average, but this is from 2019. This is from this past season. All right, so boot game. Why would we boot? 3 points. Teach in terms of threes. Deceive. Keep those backside defenders at bay. Keep them honest. Make them think about pursuing. Deceive them. You can change the launch point for your quarterback and not have to just rely on your 5 or 6 man protection to keep him upright. I know a lot of coaches out there do some sprint out. We have not done sprint out since probably 2017. We've had more of a pocket quarterback in our system. Not that I do not believe in sprint out or think that it can help better your offense. But for us, instead of just sprinting to one side of the field, we would rather fake opposite, get some misdirection, and then get to the other side of the field. But it still accomplishes the same thing as sprint out, whereas it will change the launch point. And then the last bullet of that is you will cut the field in half and make the read easier for your quarterback. So for us at Utica College, why do we boot? To deceive, to change the launch point, and to cut the field in half. It's all going to start with our feet. I coach the quarterbacks at Utica College, so I might get a little bit QB technical. Again, Coach G with the chat. Anybody who has questions, feel free to stop me. But the first thing that we start with is we'll call it a squish and a step. We're a staggered stance QB team. Our lefties will have their left foot up. I started with him because our QB happens to be a lefty. If we do have a right-handed quarterback, he will start with his right foot up. No matter which way we are going, if we are going to fake left first, we want to ball up our right foot, squish it into the ground like we are squishing a bug, and push off of it to step away. So squish and step. You will see quarterbacks can false step just like any other position group on the field. So that's first and foremost. We will squish and step. We want to avoid crossing over or hopping because that will affect our footwork. Booting. I've heard a lot of QB coaches in my short amount of time coaching. A lot of people will refer to the clock or stepping at 4:30 or 7:30, depending on where you're going. We are a gun team. We will have ways to boot and fake out of gun and out of pistol. We are a little bit flatter in our gun alignment when we are faking pistol. So we're more around 3 and 9 o'clock. We want to step flat down the line, and I'll show you guys some film on that. When we talk in terms of footwork, and I'm not going to get up and show you guys here, limited space in my kitchen, but I will have some film for you guys on the field. We talk about terms of 1 through 7. So on step 1, we want to seat and turn. So seating the ball is fielding it, getting it into our navel, and having a sense of urgency, turning and getting our head around to the running back. We do not want to show the ball right away. We are a ball fake team, but step one, first and foremost, seat and turn, squish and step, like we talked about in the previous slide. 2, 3, 4, steps 2, 3, and 4, we will extend the ball, keep our offhand tight to our navel, and show it. This is a great picture in the background of this slide. This is our QB consciously seating both of his offhands after delivering the football to a tailback. On 5, 6, and 7, we are getting turned around. We are yanking that shoulder back. We are loading and throwing. If you are going to your arm, you should be ready to throw on your sixth step. If you're going away from your arm, you should be ready to throw on your 7th step. Step 1, seat and turn. 2, 3, and 4, extend and show. 5, 6, and 7, load and throw. We will teach in a progression here. Some of this stuff may be some overlap from the last presentation of mine, if you guys were in there. But I really wanted to emphasize our boot game footwork. Our first step's going to get cut off here. But from right here, I can tell that he's not squishing and stepping off of his right because he's going to his left. But this should be right here, step 2, 3, 4. Remember, we should be showing for 2, 3, and 4. We should be getting around, loading and throwing on 5, 6, 7. We're yanked back. We're ready to throw. There will be no throw here. We are just walking through the footwork. We will then try to do it live. Again, one of the biggest things that we work on is squishing with our opposite foot and stepping in the direction that we are throwing to. So we should be squishing with the right, stepping with the left, gaining some ground there. So not the best here, but show for 2, 3, 4, load and throw for 5, 6, 7. Get it out. And now here we're repping comebacks. You guys can rep your flat portion. You guys can rep your intermediate or your across the field dragging portion as well. Yeah, and we're going to just teach in a progression here. That was the lefty. Here is the righty. Decent job of squishing and stepping off of the right, but we're showing on our first step. We shouldn't be showing on our first step. We should be seating and turning with a sense of urgency. So we should show on this second step, 2, 3, 4, load around for 5, 6, 7. Again, he is booting to his arm strength, so he should be ready to go on the 6th. They'll know when it feels right or not. We're talking about it right there. Here, don't like that we're not squishing and stepping with the opposite foot. There, that's a false step to us. We're crossing over. We don't want to cross over or hop. I'll give you guys some good examples. I'll give you guys some bad examples. So we shouldn't be showing on our first step, and our first step should not be crossing over. So that's going to mess us up a little bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Throwing to the comeback. I like to use a line personally, and we start with faking out of the pistol because it's a harder fake for us. It's a little bit easier when we're just faking out of the gun. And again, we will do both. I'll have some illustrations of our concepts. I like to use a line just to make sure that we are getting off of the line because we are selling outside zone. We're selling a wide stretch. This is a good job by our QB pushing off the left. He's stepping with the right here. You can see he's a little bit flatter. We talked about that picture of that clock. We're not necessarily 4:30 and 7:30. We're a little bit flatter because we're in the gun and we have a pistol back. But right here, we step with 1. He's not showing yet. That's really good. Step, we seat and turn with 1. We show for 2, 3, and 4. Great job showing the ball. We're loading and throwing on 5, 6, 7. Now, obviously, it's going to take him a little bit longer to throw sometimes, but we want him to be ready and thinking to throw and reading on that 4th, 5th, 6th step. We always finish downhill at the target anytime we're throwing on the run. I want the QB to physically go to whoever he threw the football to and get it from that player. So here, we want to eliminate the crossover step. We want to eliminate the hop. So here, hop, that's going to count for 1 for us. That's going to throw our footwork off. 2, 3, 4. We want to get that ball back into our rib cage before we cross hip to hip with that back. We want to show it to the defense, get it snapped into the rib cage here. Decent job, RQ, getting square, yanking the shoulder back, coming up on the dominant foot there. Righties finish on their right, lefties finish on their left. Here's a little bit again of a hop, guys. Remember, we want to squish and step, so he should be squishing with this left foot and pushing off of it if he's going right. We hop, so that's got to count as 1. It's going to throw us off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We get ready to load and throw. These are simple things. This is on air. These aren't receivers. These are just assistants on the side. Get them reps at their footwork and their throws. Here, now we're just going to rep it with wideouts, and we're going to rep a read. We always throw the flat first, the intermediate portion second. So we should be reading flat first. So if I say 1, he's throwing to the flat. If I say 2, he's throwing to the intermediate portion. As I'm passing there, I'm giving him a shout. Let's go by the cue, getting around pretty quick. He's going to squish with the right, step with the left. Show for 2, 3, 4. Be ready on 5, 6 to throw. Obviously, he's getting a quick read key from me telling him a number. But we want to get him thinking, get the ball in the flat, get the ball in the flat. Don't short the fake to get the ball into the flat. Let's have a good fake and then get the ball in the flat until someone takes it from us. Squish with the right, step with the left. Show for 2, 3, 4. Get ready to load and throw for 5, 6, 7. Giving him the command there for the drag portion. Just repping it the other way now. If we have enough wide receivers, we'll get live reps at this. When we have like a QB wide receiver routes on air session, we have a ton of wideouts with us, we'll get live reps at them getting across the field and running their routes. Here you'll see us, we're just faking the gun same side now. This is an easier fake for us. We don't want to short it. We want to load up our inside foot. So our lefty here, he wants to push off this left here. 1, 2, 3, get the ball out. Same thing with our righty now, getting downhill to the drag. Going a little bit quicker here. So again, we're teaching a progression. We started counting them out on air with no throw. Then we went to a throw. Then we went to a read progression. Now this is a live QB, RB mesh session. We're getting some reps with our running back at reading the end man, the line of scrimmage with outside zone. We're having our Q give the outside zone, and then we are flipping him a ball so he can get comfortable fielding the ball and getting it out. Just another look at it here. All right, so diagrams, guys. Here we go. This was our most common way of running naked boot. So the routes here, boot, we will naked off of outside zone. We can also pull the backside guard. The top diagram is a naked of outside zone. The bottom diagram, we will still run outside zone opposite, but just pull the backside guard. That's good for edge rush teams. That's good for sit DN teams. It's good for outside edge pressure type of teams. We also like pulling the backside guard when we're booting our quarterback opposite of his arm strength, or when we're trying to emphasize getting it to the backside drag. So we can give him an extra second there to load up, make a decision, make a good throw. But if we are coming back to you as a skill player, we want to sell run first, okay? So if we're running whatever you call this formation, let's say it's deuce left because we're in doubles here, deuce left, and we run boot right. If we are going to fake outside zone right, and you know you're on the backside of the run, you would do whatever your responsibility is on the backside of said run. So our tight end normally would cut off. We teach him like it's pick and roll basketball. We tell him to slam down for 1, 2, 3 steps, and we tell him to open up to the ball carrier. Same exact thing as pick and roll basketball. But he wants to open over his inside shoulder, turn to the QB, does not want to turn blind. Our outside receiver normally would have some type of cutoff block or touchdown angle block. He will take an angle to the nearest safety to him for 10 to 12 yards, and then angle on what our normal corner route rules would be. which is outside of the 25-yard line, front pylon, inside of the 25-yard line, back pylon. We can also tag our outside receiver on post corners or comebacks. I know that is popular as well. That's as simple as tagging one wideout. Everybody else's rules remain the same. If we are booting away from you, it is imperative that you get into the vision of the quarterback. If you are the nearest player to the quarterback, you will run a drag. If you are the furthest player to the quarterback, you will run a burst post and split the hashes. No matter what, we will always fill flat, intermediate, and deep. No matter what we run, how we run it, what we're faking, so wherever the quarterback is booting to, we will always fill flat, intermediate, and deep, and the quarterback will read it low to high. This is just another way to present this to the quarterbacks and to the skill players. No matter what we're calling, there's got to be a flat player, there's got to be a deep player, there's got to be an intermediate player. They will always fill those portions. Again, we want to emphasize first and foremost, this big green circle here, get the ball in the flat. Our orange or our yellow portion here, think of it as a stoplight. This is intermediate. That should be our second thought. Our smallest window in our red here, the last thing that we should be thinking is throw the ball deep, unless we were to tag something like that. But no matter what variation we run, we will always fill these three lanes. Here's some game tape on it. So we are in a 11 personnel 2x2 set. We are going to run our naked series here. So the O-line is selling outside zone to the field. So is the quarterback. He should be squishing and stepping. Since we are faking right, he should be pushing off his left foot. He should extend the ball with one. He is a lefty. We are faking to the right here. He's going to extend with his left, show the ball to the defense. His right hand should be tight to the rib cage. Remember, he wants to seat and turn on one, show for 2, 3, 4, and then try to throw on 5, 6, 7, depending on if it's 2 or away from his arm. He will read the flat portion first, then the intermediate portion. Our tight end, he's got the slam release. He's playing pick and roll basketball. He should step for 1, 2, 3, turn to the ball carrier, and get into the flat no more than 3 yards. Flatter the better. 1, 2, 3, get into the flat. Our V out, we would call this, should attack the nearest safety, 10 to 12 yards. We are inside the 25-yard line, so he should take an angle to the back pylon. If we were outside the 25-yard line, he would take an angle to the front pylon. If you are the nearest receiver to where we are booting from, you run a drag under the first backer you see, over the second backer that you see. Our backside post can slow play it, but we teach this as a burst release. Vary your angles, split the hashes. Always like watching the tight shot with the quarterbacks. Love that this is on a hash, so we can physically see if our quarterback in our fake pushes wide and gets off of this hash. Always good when you get the camera guy.
Got a question here for you, Coach.
What do you got, Coach?
With a cover 2 corner or press, is the release still the same? No mandatory outside release in that scenario?
That's a very good question. So in this exact set, we'll also boot to some post corner types of sets. If our number one player is a post player and we get a hard corner, yes, he would convert into a vertical. Because we're running this V out and we're attacking the near safety, that flat defender corner should not be able to get hands on us. And we should give him time to read his flat and play the flat and throw the ball behind him. We've got a clip of us completing the V out for a touchdown in a couple clips here. And we tell our quarterback, if your flat presence, if your flat route is taken from an outside presence, if it's taken from outside in, get your eyes to the V out and then to the drag. So we always tell him flat first, then drag. But if the flat player is taken by an outside presence, we then tell him to get his eyes to the V out and then the drag. I know that may happen quickly for a quarterback, but we all have film throughout the week, and we all know when we're playing hard corner teams or not. That's a great question, though. And we'll have a few clips of our post corner concept where the post will convert into a vertical against a hard corner. Thank you for asking that. Slow me down, guys, if you need to. All right, that was from 2019. This is from 2018. Same exact concept. This is a great job by our tight end. Again, same exact formation, same exact fake, same exact play. Great job by our tight end slamming down for 3, getting into the flat. Remember, our outside receiver will run the V out. Our backside receiver under the first backer over the second. Intersect the opposite hash 10 to 12 yards. This is spaced very well. Again, remember that diagram with the green, the orange, and then the red. No matter what, we want to fill flat, intermediate, and deep. We should seat and turn for 1. We're faking right, so we should be pushing off of the left. We should show for 2, 3, 4. That's a quick sell there. Get our head around for 5, 6, 7. So I'm telling the QB here, right, our first read is the flat. We're staring at the flat here. Get this ball in the flat. He'll never be more open than he is right now in this current moment. Do not wait on it. So we're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. Then we get the ball to the flat player. We have less real estate here in the sideline to turn up and make somebody miss. If our flat presence is there, that is our first read. Get the ball to the flat. So we'll have a pistol call where we fake it out of pistol. And then I know that the first 2 clips here have all been pistol. And we will have another call to get it into the gun. Same exact play, same exact formation from the last 2 years. This is spaced very well. Flat, intermediate. Again, deeper the better. We want this angle to the front pylon so the quarterback can flatten us if he needs to. We don't want the quarterback to have to throw us on an upward angle. We prefer him to throw us on a downward angle. A little bit of a false step with the left foot. We should be squishing and pushing off of the left. You'll see when you don't push off of that opposite foot, you don't get the width and the stretch that you really want. Here are QB 2-hand fakes. You'll see he's got some really good ones where he one-hands, gets up on the dominant foot. Like to see him get downhill and put this on the upfield pec. What I do like about this clip, other than the previous clip, the placement of the ball was better. On this one, I do like that the ball is out quicker. It gives our tight end an opportunity to turn up. When we talk about, so I didn't have a slide for this, and I didn't really talk about it in our indie clips, but when we talk with our QBs of throw on the run mechanics, we talk about yanking the ball back, chinning the ball. So we talk about getting our chin on our front shoulder, and we talk about coming up on our dominant foot. So we want to yank, chin, dominant foot. The lefty's on the left, righty's on the right. Yank the ball back, chin it, because we want to stay connected to the ground. We don't want to jump and physically leave the ground. Some QBs will overemphasize that to get on their dominant foot. We want to yank, chin, dominant foot. All right, here's going to be the first clip of us not being in a true naked series, but pulling the backside guard. Now, normally we will pull the backside guard if we're booting away from the QB's arm strength, or if we want to get to an intermediate portion of a concept, which we'll have some tape on that. This week, we thought maybe we'd have some problems with the edge. So that's also a good excuse for you to pull the backside guard, just secure the edge for yourself. But again, the read is the same. It's flat, intermediate, and deep. This is a good job by our drag player between 10 and 12 yards over the second backer that he sees. Good job by the flat player. Good job by our deep player. No matter what we do, no matter what we fake or what formation we're in, we call our base naked boot, we're going to fill flat, intermediate, and deep. Can't emphasize that enough to our guys, because you guys can build a lot of variations off of this. It's a good one hand sell here. Show the ball, snap it into the rib cage. Our backs, this is a great job by our back. I didn't talk about that too much either. Sometimes your backs will tell you, hey, coach, what should I do in the scheme? And I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? Don't pass up another color jersey. So if you have something off the edge there, pick it up. Don't let it cross your face. Don't let it pursue the ball. So great job by our wideouts turning the blockers. Like to see us get a piece of that. All right, so here's going to be the first clip, guys, of us showing you the V out here. So you've seen us get it to the flat, get it to the flat, get it to the flat. You've seen the naked. You've seen the backside guard pull. We overemphasize, hey, if we've got a down safety to the side, potentially the V out's an option. And again, remember, I told you guys from the cover 2 question, if we feel our flat presence is taken from the outside in, we immediately get our eyes to the V out, to the drag. So although it's not necessarily a flat defender corner, our flat presence is taken from an outer presence. So outside in, our flat player gets taken. So great job by our Q reset, and we don't pull the backside guard here. Normally we would if we were booting away from our QB's arm strength. So great job by our QB getting reset, squaring his shoulder to the throw, throwing from a stationary platform. And when you talk about your V out angle or your corner out angle, remember, we said outside the 25-yard line, it was going to be to the front pylon. This is exactly why. This is some teach tape here. This angle is right on that front pylon for a score. And you can see we drilled that with the wideouts, and the QBs. Wide receiver that Sunday told me, hey, coach, that was on a front pylon there. So you see him stepping on it and looking at it.
Question here, coach. Is there a change, and if so, how much with the QB play action if the running back is next to him as opposed to being in the pistol?
Great question. It's just going to downgrade his footwork a level. He's not going to have to seat and turn for 1 and then extend and show for 2, 3, 4, right? Because he's not going to have to turn at all. So now his footwork's just going to become 2, 3, 4, or break it down simpler than that, 1, 2, 3. What's good, why we like to do that as well, is depending on what our back alignments are for that week, we will fake off of that back alignment. But we will have some tape. I will show you guys some gun same side fakes here. And allows him to keep his eyes on that backside end, who more times than not you're leaving unblocked unless you're pulling the guard. So you've seen us get to the slam release a couple times here with an attached tight end, 11 personnel. Same exact set here that we've been showing you guys. You've seen that some tendency of the clips I've been showing you, we've been booting back to a tight end, slam releasing. Here we're just going to boot to a detached wide out. He's going to do the same exact thing. Remember, if we're faking away from you and booting to you, your primary job is to sell run first. So our slot receivers, more times than not, on run away from them, we'll cut off an outside backer and get into the flat. What do you got, coach?
Does the quarterback change his stagger and his feet depending if he's booting left or right?
Great question. We do not. And we rep that a ton in like pre-practice and warm-ups and some of our throws. We don't want to tip anything. We don't even our stance. We're always staggered. Our dominant hand QB, his dominant foot will be up. So again, our lefty here will have his left foot up as opposed to his right. It's the same exact thing. Remember, we're not stepping at 4:30 or 7:30 on that clock. We're a gun team. We're a pistol team more times than not. And our naked boots, we're going to try to step flat down this line of scrimmage, so we shouldn't get tangled up with our feet in the back. We tell our back in these sets too, just so I can overemphasize in case I had not, that he's got to be at 3 yards behind the QB. Not reinventing the wheel here. Not showing you guys just big plays. Showing you getting some of our athletes the ball in the flat in space. Pulling our guard there. We thought that was important this week for the edge, for a sit DN team, getting the ball in the flat. All right, guys. So here's going to be the first portion where we're going to hit the backside drag. I'm trying to show you guys every single part of this that I can. Here's our V out player. Here's our snag player or our flat player. Then here's going to be our intermediate. Again, no matter what we fake, how we fake, out of whatever formation it is, I know I'm showing you guys a lot of 11 personnel 2x2, but it's going to become the same thing. Now, again, why are we pulling the backside guard? Maybe it could be for edge pressure. Maybe it could be for a sit DN team. Or if the team's doing neither of those things, why we'll do it is if we're booting to our QBs away from his dominant hand, or if we're trying to emphasize getting to an intermediate portion here. What do you got for me, Coach?
Coach, what's the blocking rules or aiming point for that pulling guard?
Gotcha. Good question. So we tell him that he's a C-gap player. Again, A, B. He's got the first thing that shows in the C. We want him ideally to go cage to cage with that, body to body with that, big on big. We want to get around and outside of that. If this edge player is going to force the issue, we'll kick it out and we'll have the QB reset inside of it. We're a little flat on this pull here. We're an open pull team. We don't skip, but he should be getting some depth and width with his inside foot here and trying to log.
And it was also just asked about how about blocking on naked?
Blocking on naked. So we won't ever just have an open gap here on our naked. If we're truly going to run naked, we're going to have a C-gap player. We're going to have an attached skill guy, and we're going to try to slam it down. Now, let's say we're booting back this way. If we had a 9 technique here like we do, we don't want him to try to reach this. We don't want him to go cage to cage with that. We want him to step down like he's cutting off and make this player decide, hey, am I going to bend or am I going to sit? Or am I keying the near foot here and I'm going to condense with him stepping down? If we run it to an open side, we'll have some type of off-ball player on the backside and we'll get some split flow and we'll bluff it. We truly go to an off-ball side. And I'll get to that tape as well. I appreciate all the questions, guys. Thank you. This is going to be the last one that I show you from this series in our 11 personnel. Anybody who's going to prepare to play us next year, they're going to know that we run some type of naked boot. Now, it's hard to scheme to stop naked boot because obviously, you know, you've got to play outside zone or whatever else that the team is good at. But we will try to keep people honest. If you guys can't tell, this is going to be a tackle over set. So this is our tight end on the short side. This is our left tackle on the right side lined up next to our right tackle here. But it's the same exact play. What do you got, Coach?
A 3 and a 5, a 3 and a 5 boot side. Are you full slide and letting the guard take the 5?
So for us, yes. Like if we're going to boot back to a 5 technique, again, we'd like to think that the flow of everything pushing away from him is going to get him to at least step down. And we'd like to think that we rep the fakes with our QB and our back enough that end player, whoever it is, that C-gap, that D-gap player, whether it's a 5 technique and a 3-point stance, or it's, you know, a skill guy, a linebacker, and a 2-point and a 3-man front, that because we get off the line, remember in practice, we rep these fakes on the line, and we tell our QB and our tailback to get off of the line. Because we get enough width, we'd like to think that more times than not, we're going to get this player to bend, even if our QB is not an athlete. But yes, we would tell our guard that he's responsible for this. If we were to have a scheme where our backside guard was pulling, here's just our true naked. I've been mixing them both in for you guys. But back to this clip, again, if you're going to be a naked boot team, have some things, whether it be unbalanced or jet motion or tackle over, to keep people honest, right? So like, here's our left tackle. It's a one-word call to tell that tackle to go away from the call. And his rule is exactly the same. He's just outside zone. All right, so a little bit of a different variation here. So we will do some sniffer back sets or some 20 personnel. This is technically 11 for us because this is our tight end just detached from the line of scrimmage. if we're booting to a 2-receiver surface and we want to get a third player involved, we'll have a different tag than just our base naked boot route concepts. Coach, this is going to answer your question from the previous of this is going to be our post player. He's going to get a hard corner. He should outside release and convert this into a vertical. This is going to be like our type of post corner concept. Again, we're just booting to a flood. I have the diagram in a couple clips here. But again, remember that first diagram of the big green circle of flat, intermediate with the orange or yellow, and then deep with the red. We're still just reading this low to high, 1, 2, 3. Coach G, what do you got for me?
Yes, sir. What's your ratio of run to pass?
What is our ratio of run to pass? I tell you, we do whatever it takes year in and year out. 2018, we led the league in pass attempts and in pass yards per game, and we had a bunch of different accolades that year. This year, we're a little bit more balanced. I wouldn't be able to tell you the exact off the top of my head, but we don't ever go into a week and say we need 48 rush attempts. We're going to do whatever it takes to win that week. For example, we won a game this year with 44 run attempts and scoring 19 points and possessing the ball for almost 40 minutes. But the week after that, we're playing a different opponent. We had 44 pass attempts, scored 58, and barely possessed the ball. So, I mean, even whatever it's going to be that week, we're going to do whatever it takes. But regardless, if you run the ball a lot or effectively, whatever you deem to be a lot or whatever you deem to be effective, the defenders have movement keys. And when they see movement and they see flat lateral flow opposite, they've got to step and respect that. And if they don't, run outside zone. But again, just different ways for us getting back to our boot series here. Now we're just changing how the flat player gets into the flat. Because remember, our base concept is to just have the player to that side be the flat player. Now we're bringing the flat player from across the formation. And I've been showing you guys a lot of 11 and 20 personnel, but it's also compatible with our 21 personnel sets. Remember, we're reading the flat, intermediate, deep. It's a great job by our flat player making the first guy miss. And again, he'll never be more open than he is in this exact moment. I love that our QB gets this guy the ball immediately. This is his first read. 1, 2, 3, get up on that dominant foot, and let's boogie. Get off that hash. We don't necessarily do that here. Now, again, it's not perfect. So for the coach that was asking me about, hey, do you even up your stagger at all? Here we're actually going to get a crossover step. This is week 2 in the season. So I like to think by week 8 we are a little bit better than week 2. But again, if he's faking right, he should be pushing off this left. The first bullet of the first slide that we had was squish and step. He should squish that foot into the ground like he's squishing a bug, push off of it and step at the right. Here he's going to get a crossover step and it's going to kind of mess up his footwork. And you'll see tendency, anytime I show you guys this tight shot of our quarterbacks, anytime they cross over step, excuse me for messing that one up, anytime they cross over step, they don't feel comfortable extending the ball with one. You'll see them two-hand quick stab fake. All in all, we can coach up that fake till we're blue in the face. We get just enough here, and we get the ball in the flat. I also had the question of, hey, when you're booting to the open side, what do you do with a guard? We're either going to pull a backside guard, we're not going to have an open side, we're going to have an extra gap here, or we're going to split flow somebody to bluff kick that just to hold him for a second. Just that hesitation right there of the fullback player bluffing that kick out block. Again, if you guys are a split flow zone team, which we will run as well, he's got to respect that. Football is a game of enthusiasm. We tell all of our guys we want all 11 in this tight shot here. We want all 11 in the end zone. All right, so that was the clip that I just showed you guys. So if we're going to boot towards a 2-receiver surface, here's all the different ways that we'll do it. So here's that exact play that I just showed you. This is an 11 personnel or 11 or 20 personnel set with an off-ball player. Here we are in true 21 and like a nub side twin set. And we're getting to the same exact thing. Remember from that previous clip, it doesn't change. We're going to have a flat player, we're going to have an intermediate player, and we're going to have a deep player. no matter what. We'll just have a different 2 receiver tag over here. Here we're nub side, fullbacks away. Here we're in a true pro set with the fullback away. We could easily have the fullback to the same side and run the same concept. I'll show you guys clips of all of that. That was if we were booting to a 2 receiver surface and trying to get a 3rd receiver involved. If we're booting to a single receiver surface, it's just our base naked rule routes. So if we're faking away from you, you sell run first, whether you're cutting off or kicking out, and then you get into those same portions, flat, intermediate, and deep. And just to give you guys the visual of that again. This is that diagram that we show the quarterbacks and the skill guys. No matter what we do, no matter what formation we're in, we're going to fill these 3 lanes of wherever the QB's vision is. Flat, intermediate, and deep. And just because you're changing the run fake or you're changing the route scheme, your QB's read is going to remain the same. So here's that concept again that we just scored off of. Same exact formation. And we're getting that ball to the split flow player in the flat. We don't do the best job here of getting off of our hash here. Again, squish and step off of the right. We're going to cross over step here. We're not going to get the width that we normally want to influence this player down, like we did in the Cortland clip with the tackle over. But here it is a great job by the Q. Yank, chin, dominant foot. Great job yanking that ball back, squaring the shoulder to the throw, and getting us into the flat. See it from the tight here. Again, I told you guys, when we get that crossover step in, it's going to be a 2-hand stab fake. We really want him to push off. If we're faking left, push off that right, extend with 1, get out. I'll start to move a little bit quicker here. So the first 2 sets were 11 and 20. Here's a 21 personnel set with a true tight end and a true fullback. Same concept though. Post player will convert against a hard corner or deep out. Again, we're just getting to a flood concept. We're going to split flow, bring the flat player. Here's our intermediate player. Now, if we're on the run to an in-breaking route, right, like he knows that his deep portion isn't going to be as available as it is for something that breaks in and out, like that V out. So here in a true flood concept, I know the read doesn't change, and I said that we still want flat to intermediate. It's really flat, intermediate, intermediate. Squish and step, get around. Balls to the intermediate portion there. You saw it go to the flat, the first 2. Great. 1-hand fake. Split flow player. Could give that a chip. To hold that for a second. Ball's out. All right, so just a bunch of different ways that we'll do it just to emphasize the point of, hey, this concept is going to be compatible with whatever you guys are doing. Whether you're an under center team, a 21 personnel team, a gun 11 personnel team, we'll do a little bit of everything. We're under center here. This is a run heavy formation and a run heavy situation. This is late in the game, late in the 4th. We've got a 3rd and less than 2 or 3 here. This is a great job again. We're just getting this ball in the flat. We're booting to a single receiver surface, so it's going to be V out, it's going to be flat presence, it's going to be drag presence. And again, it's just flat, intermediate, and deep. I've said that a bunch of times here, but that's all it is. Emphasize that with your guys. It's a great job by our skill guy not looking to turn back and try to decleat somebody. We all know it's a penalty nowadays. It's a great job by him turning up the field and trying to get somebody. Now, like to see him not pass up another colored jersey here, and for this player to turn up and for this player just to take what's on him. We'll rep those things. This is potentially a score here. This is a good job by him, by the Q. Now the under center footwork, right? Same thing. We've got a seat and turn. Don't show on your first step. So we seat and turn. We're faking right, so we should be pushing off the left. You see him push off the left here. We seat and turn for 1. We show for 2, 3, 4. We load and throw on 5, 6, 7. Yank, chin, dominant foot, catchable ball on the upfield shoulder. This is really good. Really good clip. All right, so here's our gun same side fake. So I've been getting some questions about that. Gun same side, we're in a true pro set. We have tags to either have the fullback away from the tight end or to the tight end. We'll have a tag. We'll tag pistol for the pistol fake. If we tag nothing, we assume that it's going to be gun. So how does the footwork change here? He's just not going to have to seat and turn for 1. So he's showing on the 1. What we really emphasize here is not shorting the fake, being patient there, riding that, and we want him to push off of his innermost foot or the foot closest to the line of scrimmage. So again, it's still the opposite foot. So we're opening right for a fake here. We still want to push off that left foot. So we really want to emphasize this is a good job by the Q. Push off the left. 1, 2, 3. Here's 4, 5, 6. And we're throwing to that intermediate player. We read the flat first. Flat's not there. We throw intermediate. You'll see the backside drag from our X receiver trying to get into the tight shot here. We tell him under the first backer, over the second, intersect the opposite hash at 10 to 12. This is a really good clip here. We tell our flat player no more than 3 yards. We tell our intermediate player he has to push to 10, and he wants to speed cut this. On that rollover flood out, we want his foot in the ground at 10 with the ability to roll to 12. We want this to truly be a speed cut. We don't want him throttling, chopping the arms, or having to make a 90-degree cut. Roll it over with speed. This is a good clip for us. Let me get this tight shot footwork for you guys because you haven't seen this yet. Again, now this is our righty. Our righty's got his right foot up. Match his dominant hand. Think we're a little bit quick with this fake. We kind of gator arm it just a little bit. We want to snap those elbows, straighten them completely, snap the wrist into the rib cage. Why do you guys want to have the pistol fake and the gun same side fake? The pistol fake will push the width on a naked boot and emphasize that C or D gap player to bend down the line just a little bit more, even if he's told not to. Why do you want to have the gun same side fake? Now your QB's got eyes on the flat right now. He's got eyes on that edge pressure right now. Here we are against Union, same clip. So here's our gun same side fake, calling the same thing here. We're reading this flat to intermediate. You saw the intermediate portion. Now you see the flat portion. Here's our drag coming from the backside. He's a little shallow here. You could see him starting to work. We don't want him to get there too quick. Because again, he's the third part of our read. Tight shot footwork. We're opening right. We open right, so we should be pushing off the left. This is good. So good job staying with the flat player, not taking his eyes off it too quick. But he would be able to progress if he did not have this flat here, did not have the intermediate. Here comes his backside intermediate into that window. Great job by our Q. He's a righty. Get up on that right foot, right? By the time he's ready to throw, he's on that right foot. He's staying over top of the football. He's got knuckles over laces we talk about. He's commanding that, and he's snapping the wrist down, thumb down. Like here, too, it's kind of snuck up at the end of the clip. We always tell our receivers, now again, this might not seem like a big deal, but just that it's ingrained in the back of their head. We tell our receivers never to block back, to look up the field in case that player trusts the ball carrier to make the first guy miss. It's a great job by our intermediate player. He immediately is getting his eyes up the field. All right, so here's a big play and a big moment. So this is late in the game here, right? Fourth quarter, under 2 minutes. We're down a point. It's going to be a pivotal moment in the game. Just like that under center clip against Fisher at our place. Like this is a run situation and a run formation. We're in 21 personnel. It's 3rd and 2. You've seen us a lot split flow the fullback, get this intermediate, get this as our deep player, and this as our drag to keep people honest. Now we're just calling whatever the formation call is. We're calling faking this way and booting back right. So instead of him split flowing, he's attacking this naked side, getting into the flat. Here's our intermediate. Here's our V out or our deep. We're outside of the 25, so he should angle to the front pylon. Good tendency breaker, right? Boot, like when you're booting in the red zone, short yardage, throw when they think that you're going to run and run when they think that you're going to throw. Or at least try to. Okay, it's just some different variations, guys. We're finishing up here. So I showed you a lot of our base stuff, whether it was 11, 20, or 21. Here's a 10 personnel set. We will tighten our splits and our formations down. If you guys were in the true play action talk, I showed you guys some of this stuff. But when we're in our true 10 personnel condensed sets, a call for us is outside zone or toss or pitch. So we'll fake that outside zone, and it's the same exact thing, guys. So now the slot receiver is our fullback. He should be our flat. He should be our intermediate. He should be our V out or our deep. He should be our post split in the hashes. Obviously, his split is tightened down a little bit. So the angle of his release will look a little different. A great job by the Q. No false step. Push off the left. Step with the right. Extend with 1. Seat and turn for 1. Show for 2. For 3. For 4. Get around for 5. For 6. For 7. Get the ball out to the flat. Again, this is going to be a 4-yard gain. Just tendency breakers. Keep people honest. Get your athletes the ball in space. These are simple throws. Get your completion percentage up. These are simple throws for your quarterback. From that statistics slide, you guys saw that we were 19 for 26. We were almost 76% in 2019 on this concept. It's a high completion percentage type of concept, and there's a ton of different variations that you guys can run out of it. I think I've got one more clip for you guys after this. So as you guys start to get creative here, so we will go unbalanced. Again, I showed some of the guys that in the play action presentation. So we're going unbalanced. This is a pro set. We've got a call to tell our play side receiver to step on, a call to tell our backside receiver to step off. We're going to fake the jet because we will do that. Again, keep people honest of what you guys do, guys. If you guys have a tendency to where when you go unbalanced, you're going to give the ball to the jet player, boot off of that or have a play action off of that. I know that sounds simple, but play action off of things that you guys do and do well. And you guys don't always just have to play action if your run to pass ratio is in a greater frequency or leaning towards the run side, because defensive players will have defensive keys and they're going to read their keys. If there's flow opposite, they're going to flow. So again, we're jetting a player, we're faking with a player, we have an ineligible player. So we're going to lose the deep portion here. We're going to have a flat, we're going to have a backside intermediate. This was a game plan specific thing for us in the red zone or on the goal line this week. This is something off the jet motion. We don't swivel with the jet. Our QB's a lefty. We knew that we were going to only call this play to the left this week. And there you go, just keeping people honest. And again, it's just a naked boot. And it's the same exact read for the quarterback. So, Coach G, I don't know if I'm out of time or not. I've got a few more clips for you guys. If you guys want this, just give me a shout. I'll get this to you guys. Here is all of my contact information again.
Coach, go ahead, man. If you want to show those clips, man, go ahead.
Coach G, egging me on here.
You got time, brother.
For us, though, guys, so these ones are going to be a little bit jumbled. There's just 4 or 5 here. I know I showed you guys a lot of the 11 or 20 personnel ball in the flat. So I want to show you guys some bad clips too, right? Here, his first read is ball in the flat. I think any of us in this room, no matter what position we played, would be able to complete this ball into the flat here. We should get that ball into the flat, instead of relying on our arm, somebody in our face, and the receiver making a heck of a sideline toe tap catch. There's our pistol call. If we didn't have the pistol call, he would stay gun and we'd fake the gun. Here it is one more time. Here it is of us doing it correctly. Same exact formation, same exact play. The quicker you get that ball to the player in the flat, the more time he has to analyze who is coming to get him and making that guy miss. Great job by the wideouts converting the blockers there. One clip I do want to show you guys. I want to get into more of the 21, and I have a few clips at the end here of like true 12 personnel. Just again to emphasize that you guys can get this out of any formation that you guys want. Here's the gun, same side fake. I'm trying to show you guys the same amount of clips of both. This is spaced very well between flat, intermediate, intermediate here. It's a good little moving triangle for our quarterback. We always try to create triangles in the pass game for him. All right, here we are in a true 12 personnel set. We've got two attached tight ends here. But, guys, it's going to remain the same. Whether our wideout was on this side or this side, if our wide receiver was not here and he was over here, we would have a slam release, we would have a V out, we'd have a drag, and then we'd have our burst post. Because we're going to boot to a two receiver surface and get a third in, we always tell the third player that he's flat. Now he's intermediate, and this will be a two receiver tag, and he's our post or our vertical conversion against the hard corner. Here's going to be a gun same side fake. Gun same side. Pull the backside guard. Again, don't like how this is getting to the intermediate player here. We should still be able to trust this ball in the flat, even if this player is going to come down on it. He shows that he has not yet. Get that ball in the flat, even if it takes an extra second to get out. Or get your eyes to the backside intermediate player. Again, we're going to have a really good throw here and a really good catch. We are a little quick on this fake as well. We want to ride this back hip to front hip. We're opening right, so we should be pushing off the left. Give this tight end some time to get out. If we rode that fake for an extra second, this tight end would be another yard to 3 yards in front of us, and that read might be a little bit easier. So here it is out of a different formation, but it's still 12. We have this edge pressure. So this is a 9 technique. I know I got the question on the 5. Here's a 9. Again, if we ride this fake a little bit longer, he's a little bit quicker. If we ride this a little bit longer, that guard will kick that out for us, and this isn't as rushed to throw. But his eyes are on that player. His eyes are on his first read key, which is the flat. We get the ball in the flat. We yank the shoulder back. We get on the dominant foot. We keep our knuckles over the laces so we can control the ball, and we snap down on it. It's a good catchable ball. Don't rush this fake to get to your read. You've got time. Those players are selling run first. All right, guys, those are the last few clips that I had. Good, bad, and different. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you again for spending the Saturday with me. Coach G, you are one of the busiest people that I know. Thank you for everything that you do. Happy birthday to you. If nobody knew in the room tomorrow, then here's all my contact info one more time. Please get a hold of me. I'm willing to share whatever you guys need.
Absolutely, Coach. If anybody has any questions, man, feel free to drop it in the chat right now before we wrap this session up. Once again, man, Coach Gerbino just, killed it with another great presentation as you were going. And I was thinking it, and some guys tweeted it out, but just love the detail that you go into with everything. I think that's awesome. Obviously, it's helped you guys, you personally, and obviously, Utica football be successful offensively, man. It's great to hear just the different details that you go into with the step. I mean, just everything. You know, it was awesome. Like I said, guys were tweeting that out as you were presenting. So big shout out to you, man. Props to you. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, man, you know, we can get a couple questions here before we head out. But if not, obviously, Coach shared his contact information there. If you guys have any further questions or just want to talk some more ball at a later time, man, it's right there. You know, we say it all the time. This is, you know, with all this time on our hands and just things the way they are, you know, you want to take advantage of the opportunity to talk football with coaches across the country. You know, when we get back to regular scheduled programming, guys aren't going to have as much time, and it's going to be a little more difficult. So, hey, take advantage of it now. You know what I'm saying? But another great presentation, Coach. You know, I had no doubt. And I just want to thank you again for jumping on with us and spending some time with us on Saturday.
No problem, man. You definitely took a risk getting me on again. I tell you that. So I appreciate you making the mistake twice.
we call that a you know, it's a high calculated risk, man. I knew you'd deliver, man, just like always. But you do a tremendous job, Coach. You know that, and we'll talk soon. And I appreciate you, man, for everything you do, not only for this platform, this, you know, on the 2 times been, but just you know, football in general, man. Just, you know, getting some good information out there. I know a lot of coaches in here benefited from it this morning. So thank you for that.
Good, man. No doubt. Coach G, thank you again. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, sir.
You're the Moose.